Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a huge shift in India's energy policy. The country is getting ready to open up its nuclear power sector to private companies, and honestly, this move could have massive implications for its clean energy goals and its entire economy. You know, for the longest time, this question was purely hypothetical, something you just talk about as a what if. But that's all changing. For the first time since its independence, India is about to make this a reality. And believe me, it is a very big deal.
So at the very heart of this huge transformation is a brand new piece of legislation, and it's called the Shanti Bill. This thing is set to completely overhaul India's nuclear energy sector, which, as you know, has been under strict government control for decades.
Okay, so Shanti is, well, it's an acronym for a very long title. But its goal is actually pretty simple: to create one single, modern legal framework for the country's civil nuclear program. It's designed to replace laws that have been on the books for more than 60 years. And here's the key takeaway, the most important part. This isn't just a small amendment or a little tweak. The Shanti Bill literally repeals and replaces both the original 1962 Act and the 2010 Liability Act. This is a fundamental change of direction for India's entire nuclear strategy.
So you have to ask, right? Why such a massive change, and why now? Well, it all comes down to one incredibly ambitious target that the government has set for itself.
The scale of this ambition is just staggering. I mean, look at this. India's current nuclear capacity is just a little over 8 gigawatts. The goal? To hit 100 gigawatts by 2047. That's a more than 12-fold increase. It's a colossal jump that the current state-run system just can't handle on its own. And here's the why behind the why. To get to that 100-gigawatt finish line, India needs something like 15 lakh crore rupees in investment. That's a huge amount of money, way, way more than the government can fund by itself. So what do? You turn to the private sector for help.
And this quote from the Prime Minister really illustrates the vision perfectly. The playbook they're using is the recent and very successful privatization of India's space program. The idea is to basically replicate that success, that explosion of innovation and investment, but this time in the nuclear field.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. Let's see how this bill literally rewrites the rulebook for building and running nuclear power plants in India. There are really two massive changes here. First, the old government monopoly is gone. The door is now wide open to private companies, both Indian and foreign. Second, and this is a really big one, the rules on liability have been totally flipped. It's no longer a shared responsibility. Now, only the plant operator is on the hook.
But it's really important to point out that this isn't a complete handover. The government is keeping exclusive control over the most sensitive and strategic parts of the nuclear fuel cycle. You know, things like uranium enrichment and managing radioactive waste.
Okay, let's take a closer look at this new liability model, because it's a huge deal. By getting rid of supplier liability, the government is hoping to attract those big international players who were maybe a bit nervous about investing before. So now, the operator is solely responsible, but their financial liability is capped. If damages from an accident go above that cap, the Indian government actually steps in to cover the rest. And that major shift in liability, well, it brings us right to the core debate, the central controversy at the heart of the Shanti Bill. Is this the right balance between encouraging investment and making sure the public is safe?
On one side, you have the supporters, including the Prime Minister's office, calling this bill an absolute game changer. They see it as a necessary step towards a clean energy future, a way to supercharge technological growth, and a source of incredible new opportunities. But of course, there's another side to this story. Critics are worried that making this sector more attractive to investors might come at the cost of accountability. They argue that getting rid of supplier liability weakens what's known as the polluter pays principle, the idea that whoever is responsible for the pollution should pay for the damage. If a faulty part causes an accident, the company that made it is no longer on the hook. Critics say this could reduce the incentive to maintain the absolute highest safety standards and that the financial risk of a major disaster ultimately gets passed on to the taxpayer.
And you know, this debate is particularly resonant in India. The memory of the 1984 Bhopal gas tragedy, where all these questions of corporate liability became a defining national issue, it still looms large over any discussion about industrial safety and accountability today.
So here's the bottom line. The Shanti Bill is a high-stakes gamble. It's a really bold move to achieve some incredibly ambitious clean energy goals by bringing in private money and innovation.
But it also rewrites the rules of risk and accountability, which leaves a huge question for India's future. Can the country achieve its massive energy ambitions without compromising on nuclear safety? Only time will tell.